Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I set up my Vevor solar street light. It actually came in a 3-light kit, 8,000 watt. They give you several different options on their website. I chose the 8,000 watt. So here in this video, I'm going to walk you through how I set it up. I'm going to show you how to actually mount the solar street light because the directions are vague and you're just going to have to use some ingenuity when it comes to mounting the solar street light. So stay tuned and we're going to dive into this Vevor solar street light right here in the Caliente garage. So let's get started. Now, this video is not sponsored by Vevor. I actually paid for my 3 solar street lights out of my pocket. Therefore, I can give you a honest review about this product. So we're gonna look at this product and then I'm gonna show you how to actually mount this thing. So when you buy it, it comes with different wattages. They have it in an 8,000 watt, 12,000 watt, also a 500 watt. I chose the 8,000 watt. The only paperwork that came with the solar street lights is like a 1-sheet piece of paper. Huh? We're not even going to use this here in this video. I'm just going to show you how I set this up and how I mount this. Okay. So when you get your box, again, it's going to come with the 1 sheet of paper. We're not even going to use this. Okay, inside of the box, it's coming with the solar street light. Here's the solar street light. On one side, it has the solar panel. On the other side is the LED lights. We'll dive into this here in a second. You're gonna get a mounting arm is what I'm gonna call this. A mounting plate, and it's going to come with some mounting bolts. It's going to come with 2 different packages of mounting bolts. I got a little extra single bolt here in the package as well, and also it's coming with the remote control, a white remote control. Okay, so looking at the solar street light, to put this into context, I'm going to give you the size of this thing. We're looking at about 21 inches long. And we're looking at about 9.5 inches wide.
Now take off them clothes and get on your J.O.B.
Can I turn out the light, dear?
This mounting arm, you're going to be looking at around 18 inches. So the total length of this thing, it's going to stick out 3 feet long. Okay, so you're looking at a total of 3 feet, just to put it in a context how long the thing really is. Okay, and we're going to dive into all of that. We got some clear wrapping protective film that you can take off once you get this thing mounted, and it's really simple. Basically, on the front of this LED light, you have a off and on switch. Now, out of the box, I assumed that you had to charge it, but it's already charged. So to turn it on, you're going to press that red button one time, the LED light pops on, and then it cuts off. Okay, it's got a little red LED light sensor in there that's flashing, so you know it's in the on position. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off for now. Press it again to turn it off. So 1 button on, it's gonna cut off. 1 button off. Okay, very simple, not complicated at all. Now, it has a mounting plate just over the off and on switch, and inside of this thing is a battery. You cannot plug it in and charge it. It's going to charge via the solar panel that's here on the rear. Okay, you can't plug it in and charge it. And we're going to just take off this little mounting plate. Now this particular light, it comes on at dark or at dusk, and it cuts off at sunlight. Okay, if somebody walk underneath the light, it's going to get bright. Okay, so it's going to go from like a standby dim mode, and then when somebody walk, if it detects motion, it's going to light up even brighter. Okay, I'm going to take out these little screws just to give you some context. You have 6 little Phillips screws. So I just want to open this up and show you what it looks like. Okay. Be careful when you take that plate off, if you need to take it off, because you have some soldered wires on a circuit board in here. It kind of looks like some larger, it looks like some D batteries. I'm not going to take this out, but there's nowhere to charge this thing by plugging it in. Okay. It has a little circuit board in here. I'm not going to get into that. We're not going to take any of this loose. I just wanted to show you what it looks like up underneath this panel. I'm going to put back my 6 screws. This thing is made in overseas in China. All right, so we put back the 6 screws over the cover. Again, one button turns it on, one button turns it off. Okay, very simple. See if we can get into the remote control. And I never tried this before. This will be the first time. Let me see, does it need batteries? So yeah, it's going to need, it looks like 2 AA or 2 AAA batteries. I'm gonna see if I can find some batteries for this remote. I'll be right back. And with the remote control, it does not come with any batteries. The size would be AAA, 2 AAA batteries. Let's see if this thing works. And this will be the first time I turned it on. So apparently if you cover this, if it gets dark over the solar panel, the light stays on. So I'm gonna lay it down flat. Okay, the light stays on, okay? When it's light outside, it cuts off. When it gets dark outside, it cuts on, okay? This is the remote control. I'm just gonna press with some of these buttons and see what happens. That's off, that's on. You have a 2H, 3H, 4H. Just gonna put that where you can see it. 2H, 3H, 4H. I'm assuming that's hour. You have radar. And it just flashes when I press the radar. Auto. Flashes on auto. You have a up and you have a plus and a negative. So we're gonna press the plus. I guess that's the brightest. And then you can press the negative to make it dimmer, okay? I'm gonna press the plus to just make it brighter. Okay, so the controller is pretty basic, okay? Off and on, 2H, 3H, 4H, and radar, auto, plus for brighter, negative for dimmer, okay? I'm going to turn it off because I don't want it turning back on. I'm just going to turn it off. So with it off, the off and on doesn't work. It only works with the remote when the the main red button is on, okay? Or inside of the packaging, it came with 4 mounting bolts. I'm just gonna take them out the package. Like I said, you gotta be creative because it didn't really give any information on how to set this up. Okay, it gave you four long bolts. Now there are several ways that you could set this up. I'm just gonna show you guys how I do it. I'm not gonna use the hardware that came in the packaging. I'm gonna use my own hardware, but I just wanted to show you what you're getting in the packaging. So it looks like you're getting some kind of brass anchors. I'm not even sure how to even use these things. This is new to me. Okay. You're getting 4 brass anchors with 4 brass washers and 4 nuts. So these are coming inside of the kit. You're gonna get 4 of these. You're gonna get an additional lock washer. You're gonna get an additional bolt. The only thing that we're gonna use out of the kit, and it came out of the kit with these brass looking anchors, we're gonna use this long bolt with the nut. Okay, this is all we're using. The rest of this hardware I'm not gonna use. I'm gonna use my own hardware. Okay, I'm just showing you what you're getting, and I'm gonna show you how I use it. Okay, if you notice, the bolt is smaller than the bigger bolts. Okay, you're getting 4 bigger bolts, but 1 smaller bolt. We're gonna use that 1 smaller bolt. The rest of these bolts that's coming in the kit, we're not even gonna use them. Okay, I'm just gonna sit these to the side. We're not gonna use it. Okay, here toward the bottom of the on switch, you have a little slot there. You're gonna take the arm, and when you mount this thing, it's gonna mount like this. Okay, it's gonna actually sit up on your post. Okay, to mount the arm, you're gonna take that little bitty nut right here on the front by the solar panel. You're gonna take that little nut and you're gonna put it right there in that little slot. Okay, this long bolt is gonna go through the light, and it's gonna come up through the post. Okay, and it's gonna screw into that little nut. Okay, so you got the little nut here on the solar panel part. You can see these holes. We want to make sure that we're lined up properly. Make sure it's sitting upright. You're gonna take this long bolt. I put a little washer on there. Okay, I'm gonna run this through, and we're gonna screw it into that little recess nut that we put on the back right there. The little reset nut, that little recess nut. Okay, so this is how it's gonna sit when you mount this thing. Okay, this is gonna be your post, and it's gonna mount like this. Okay, just wanted to show you how this is gonna look. Okay, because I've seen some people where they take some flat pieces of wood and try to make a brace, which will work because there's not one way to do this. I'm just gonna show you guys how I do it. Okay, so basically the way this works, you got a mounting plate that came in the kit, and you're gonna sandwich this around your pole. Okay, turn it like you can see it. Got your mounting plate. You're gonna mount this around the pole. Now, when I first looked at this thing, I was thinking maybe I could take a 2x4 and put it in there. But as you can see, a 2x4 is not gonna sit flush, okay? So you're gonna have to use some ingenuity when it comes to mounting this thing. I'm just gonna show you guys the way that I figured out would be the best way to mount it. This is the mounting plate. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna put some additional holes through the mounting plate here in a moment. So I'm just gonna show you the hardware that I'm gonna use after I get my holes drilled through the mounting plate. Okay, now the hardware that I purchased separately from Lowe's, these did not come in the kit. I'm just gonna show you everything I got mounted. I got these little bolts. They're like 1-inch bolts with nuts on them, with washers and lock washers. I also have 4 lag bolts. Okay, so we're gonna use those to mount those to the post. Again, this is not in the directions. This is just the way that I'm going to do it. I'm gonna use the nuts and bolts through the 4 holes on the mounting plates, okay? So once I get my holes drilled, I'm gonna put those 4 bolts through the mounting plate, okay? And it's gonna hold the light to the back plate, okay? And we're gonna use the small 4 silver bolts for that. So I'm just gonna set this to the side for now. The way I wanna do this, I'm going to put some holes in this. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark my holes. I'm gonna take like a magic marker and I'm just gonna make 4 X's. Again, this is not in the directions, this is just how I do it. So as you guys can see, I actually put 4 X's right there on this mounting plate. So what I'm gonna do is drill 4 holes. So the drill bit that I'm going to use from my drill bit is a 23 by 64. 23 by 64, okay? Next thing I need to do is drill 4 holes through the X's that I actually put on here. Okay, so I got my mounting plate and I have these X's already marked, okay? I'm gonna put me 4 holes through these mounting plates. I wanna make them big enough to go through these lag bolts, okay? I'm going to just make me an indentation right there where the X's are. It don't have to be perfect. Okay, so I took my punch and I made me a little spot there so my drill bit can stay centered. I'm gonna use this C-clamp to hold this bracket into place. And if you got a drill press, this works even better. So I'm just gonna take my drill bit and I'm gonna drill 4 holes. So now I have 4 holes drilled, and I want to make sure that the hole is big enough to go for the lag bolts to go all the way through. May have to wobble it just a little bit. You want to make sure it go all the way. Okay? Perfect. 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 So I'm going to take my mounting bracket, and this just is for example. You can put it on your 4x4 post. You can put it on. You can put it on a 2x4. Like I said, there's not one way to do this. Just do what works best for you. I'm going to take my lag bolt. And it's probably best to drill your holes first, but I'm just going to do this just as an example. So take your lag bolts. So this is how you mount it using the 4 lag bolts. So this is how I would mount my brackets using the 4 lag bolts. Okay, you can put this on a 2x4, you can put this on a 4x4, you can put this on a 6x6. You can even mount this to a tree the way that I'm setting this up. Okay, so now you got your mounting bracket on your post that you're going to be hanging your light. You're going to take your light and you're going to use the 4 bolts to mount the light to the bracket. Okay, so just to give you an example, I'm just going to take this loose just to make this easier, just to make it light. Make sure you don't take out that bolt. Take out your mounting bracket or your mounting arm. Don't lose that screw. Okay, make sure you don't lose that screw. So you got your bracket mounted to your post. Now you got the mounting arm and it's going to be pointing upward. Okay, so how I'm going to do this, I picked up these bolts with washers and lock washers and a nut. Just going to drop these down in here like so. And like I said, the hardware was sold separately. I'm not even using the hardware that came in the kit. So it's going to look like this on your pole. Okay, whether you're using a 2x4 as your post, a 4x4 as your post, a 6x6 as your post, or whether you're using a tree as your post, the mounting plate is going to be held by the lag bolts. Okay. Well, in order for this to really work, I have to put all of the bolts in. Okay, and I'm just going to put all of them in. I'm trying to take some shortcuts to just shorten this video. It doesn't matter if you want to come bottom up or up down. Okay, I'm just going top down. Okay, I'm going to tighten these down. I'm going to use 14 millimeter. I'm going to flip this over, do the same to this other side. Now we have the mounting bracket mounted to the post. Okay, now I can take my light and I can now put my light on the mounting arm, and this is the way it's gonna look. Okay, so when you get your post that you're using. You're gonna mount your bracket. You're gonna drill your holes, mount your bracket, and then you can come back with your bolts, and your light is gonna sit just like that. Okay, it's gonna come on when it's dark. Be sure to turn it on from the bottom. It's gonna come on when it's dark, and it's gonna cut off at daylight. Okay, it has a sensor that if somebody walk under the light, it should get brighter. Okay, it's like a motion sensor. It gets brighter if somebody walk underneath the light. Okay, I guess it's set up that way to save battery power, but this is how it will look using the technique that I've used to mount the mounting brackets. Okay, so check the description of the video for pertinent information. Also, I will include a link exactly where I picked up the lights in case you want to pick up your Vevor outside LED street lights. Okay, and just remember, your little nut goes in that little recess spot there, and it's probably a good idea to put a little bit of super glue there so you don't lose that nut. It wouldn't hurt. So I got my super glue, rubber gloves, and before you put the bolt through, make sure that the super glue is dry. You don't want the bolt to super glue to the nut. You only want to super glue the nut inside of this recess. So I'm going to take a little bit of super glue. This is not in the directions. This is just optional, and this just will keep you from losing that nut. Okay, kind of spread that around. Be sure to use rubber gloves with this super glue. And I'm just going to drop that nut right in that little recess there. And I'm just going to let that dry. Okay, let it fully dry before you put the nut through the mounting arm. You don't want to super glue the bolt to the nut. You only want to super glue the nut into the recess.
My husband gave your wife a baby. Well, you gonna give me a baby. Now, is that a deal? Is that a deal?
Yes, it's a deal.
So you want to let that dry. And again, this is not in the directions. This is just something that I would do to keep from losing that nut. So this is going to conclude my video on how I mount the Vevor LED light to a mounting post. Again, it doesn't matter which post you use, if you use the technique that I'm using, but there's more than one way to hang this particular light. It just depends on how you want to do it. So let me know what you think about this Vevor solar street light that I've demonstrated here in this video. I want you guys to stay tuned a little bit later. I'll show you how it looks at night. So stay tuned for a later video on how it looks once I get everything mounted up. So let me know what you think. Drop a comment down in the comment section below. If you like this video, I want you to click the like button. If you would like to support the Caliente YouTube channel, I want you to join my YouTube channel. You'll get an opportunity to see some exclusive videos that the general public will not be able to see. So join the channel, click the like button. If you would like to make a small donation, be sure to click the thanks. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit later out here in the Caliente garage.